Unajua from a school to a big club, your experience bado hakuwa nayo. So ile jail tumekuwa nayo from last year after the last club championship. Hata last iliponyoka tu kidogo kwa sababu tulichukua the first 2 sets in the quarters. Alafu ikaponyoka, umeona. Haikuwa mbaya. But after hapo tukajiambia learn something from each championship. We can make it. Kwa sababu the other time tulikuwa number 6. Tukakuja number 5.
Yes.
So this year tukianza mazoezi, tukajiambia mazoezi ya this year tusifocus Kenya League pekee, tusifocus kwa league, kwanza tufocus kwa club championship kwa sababu hiyo ndio inakuja na ni game kubwa. So ile time ya mazoezi tulikuwa na train kufocus wapi club championship. Alafu also hao wale wametoka shule walikuwa wamemachua. Umeona? So ile maturity tumekuwa na for the last like 1 year tukakaa nao tukazoeana, umeona. And then another thing, hatukuwa na our main setter alikuwa ameenda maternity, so akarudi. So unajua kuna ka boost kidogo. Tukakuwa na boost kwa team. And then also we had Cherotich, ametoka team from Dubai, so akajoin. And then ile teamwork na kujel. Ile mimi naweza sema kwa hii team ya KCB, we have age group zote. We have seniors, we have wale katikati, we have wale wametoka shule. So unajua ukiwa na team iko na hizo age zote, inakuanga rahisi kushinda na kuwa na ile teamwork. And then also before to travel, tulikuwa na ile muhimu, tulikuwa na kila mtu ako na kazi yake ya kufanya kwa uwanja. Kama muhimu, kazi yako ni wewe receive na uchukue kwa nyuma, tubebe. Then Tata na Juliana ilikuwa wao ndio kumalizia mbele. So tulikuwa na plan. We had to plan. Tutashinda aje, tukua kwa podium kwanza. We have a plan. Na hiyo plan tulianza kuanzia January. So tukamwambia kina Cherotich, si lazima uattack, wewe funga wewe block.
Yes.
Ikipita kwa block sisi tutabeba. Na tukibeba Tata na Bulu fanya nini? Nasema Juliana ndio bulldozer. Wewe na bulldozer fanya nini malizia. So that is the plan we had before to travel. That's why tulipita na results.
Yeah. And maybe Juliana kitwa bulldozer na Terry labda ni scarred, anakumbusha scarred. Labda wefafa,
yeah. This nasema sai kama Terry, she's now I think the best player sai kwa Africa. Umeona group yake na Varkas?
Yes.
She's part of them sai. Ako kwa hiyo group saizi. She's a good player, I can say. Kulingana na miaka yake na ile game anacheza. She's a good player.
I mean, you'll answer this later about how umesaidia tuseme the young players, right? Kuintegrate kwa team na kuwapatia leadership. Looks like imekuwa ni kitu expected or kitu arranged na inawork poa sana. But to Sharon, best server, what do you make of hii title? I mean, hii a trophy kwako, kwa hii championship inamaanisha nini kwako?
Kwa mimi, nilifurahia sana kupata hiyo trophy. It was my first time. Sijaipata. So nilifurahi sana. Team ilini support. Coach alinitrain vizuri. That's why nikapata.
Yeah. Now maybe kwa game ni game gani ambayo so hii trophy ulionando hii sasa I think unajua kuna ile game moja mtu ucheza and like it gives you everything in a tournament.
Kuna hiyo quarters tulikuwa tunacheza na Congo. So hapo nilicheza vizuri sana, niliserve mpaka 15 wakiwa 0. So hiyo ndio ilinipea trophy sana.
Na labda ukijoin KCB unaweza sema kwamba umewasaidia kufikia zile targets ambazo ukijoin ulitaka uwasaidie wapate?
Yeah. Nikijoin nilikuwa bado niko chini kidogo. Saizi nimeimprove sana.
Kutoka shule?
Nikitoka shule.
Wapi lini?
Nilikuwa Kesegon. Huko Trans Nzoia. Yeah.
Nini inafanya Kesegon ina dominate volleyball and na talent ni kama ni endless? Ni kama pipe flani, talent keeps on flowing.
Kesegon tuko sponsored by KCB. So coach wa KCB sometimes ana visit Kesegon, anakuja na to train, wanatupea balls. Yeah. Wanatusupport sana.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Tata, best opposite hitter. I know this is not a surprise because You are the world champion, you helped Kenya win the Africa title under 20, you know, keeping on, going on and on and on, inamaanisha nini kwako? But what do you say about hii competition ambayo ilikuwa Cairo?
Mimi kitu naweza sema, first nilikuwa natamani sana kukua the top kwa hii Africa Club Championship, because since I started ku participate kwa championship which was last year, nilikuwa natamani sana kupata hiyo trophy, like kukua the best, but I thank God this year nimepata. I'm so happy about it, and nasema kwa timu yangu nawashukuru sana for their support na management. Yeah.
And maybe do you think that ile competition ulipata na Africa, because Muhima amesema you're the best player yani like in the world right now, do you think uko competition in Africa especially club level inaku make better?
Yeah.
Cherop coming from Dubai, you know, and getting into the team, national team pia call up, right? This year, I mean, what do you make of that? Your journey yote kufikia sahi, finishing second na kila kitu.
Ninasema hiyo journey yote si rahisi. But kila kitu ni kukaza. From professional to KCB club. Your transition ni si rahisi. Lazima uache ya upro urudi join hii. Na kufika to point tunatoka number 2 Africa. Congo is a plus because I was not expecting that performance. Because kutoka 2 years and then you come back una gel wenzako ni ngumu. So
and maybe you being in Dubai, what kind of experience ilikupatia?
Being in Dubai ilinipa experience ya work hard.
Work hard indeed. Moim, how, I mean, ile swali nilikuwa niulize, sio integration ya new ones into the team and making sure that you share the same vision of winning, also na being champions. How do you do that as a legend of the club?
Mimi nasema pangu nikiwa kwa uwanja I have to control the team. Kwa sababu kuna ile pressure inakuwa kwa uwanja. In any team, first ndakana mko na senior player. Mwenye ana cool the temperature, ikienda juu sana, ana cool the temperature. Maybe kuna time the young player anakuwa anakuwa na ile pressure, yeye anataka amalize. Unajua nataka ubomoe, tuseme kama blog. Umeona hii blog ni refu. Mimi nataka nifanye nini? Ni maybe nipita kwa sababu ni ukuta tu, ni ukuta, hiyo blog ni ukuta. So you have to talk to that player, mwambie hapana, umeona hii ball, peleka hii direction, ama pika touch out, ama peleka pole pole, tuko na block mzuri. Umeona? And then pia tukiwa kwa uwanja, ndakana kama seta, tukiwa kama niko nje ama niko mbele, na mwambie seta, huyu player ako sawa, hii side nyingine blocker ni fupi, hii side nyingine blocker ni refu. So you have to use player mwenye ako na blocker mfupi. Kwa sababu seta uchanganyikiwa sometimes. Unajua anakimbia na set, imeblokiwa, imerudi, unaenda kukimbia, sometimes anakuwa confused. So kwa timu kama mko na senior player inasaidia. Hiyo ndio mimi nafanya kwa uwanja. Niko player hapo, but at the same time niko kama coach, umeona, kwa sababu I'm a senior player. So I have to coach them kwa uwanja kenye nataka na ufanye. Kwa sababu namwambia maybe hii block imekuwa block moja, aya to narrow in, kwa sababu hiyo player attack long ball. Atafanya nini? Atachimba katikati kwa sababu ni one block. So nawaambia to narrow in. Tukinarrow in tutabeba hiyo mpira. Na nawaambia kama ni off ball, haiko kwa position ile ataka opponent ana attack vizuri. Nasikia nawaambia msiruke, wacha tuchukue nyuma. So wale tuko nyuma nafanya nini? Tunajipanga. So tushazoea. Kama iko mbali na net naambia watu mfanye nini? Msiruke, kwa sababu unaweza deflect na itoke. So nikiwaambia watu wa mbele msiruke, wana stop. Alafu nafanya nini? Tunachukua mbele, alafu na counter attack. So hiyo ndio kazi yangu kwa uwanja. And then uko nyuma niliwaambia mimi reception ndawaletea. Backward cover, kama ni kuanguka naanguka kubeba. Uko mbele mnifanyie kazi. So my work ni kudeal na huko nyuma. Uko mbele ni yenu.
Sure. And is it easy for them to listen?
Yeah, very. That is why tuko place tuko size.
Serem, just add on how maybe Muhima amekuwa influential kwa team especially, yeah.
Yeah, Moi ni senior na yeye ametubeba sana kwa team. Anatucontrol kwa uwanja. Yeye ndio at least hata mimi nikiingia kama server ananiambia Sharon unaweza, unaweza. Hata kama hujacheza sana like ndio your first time but anani keep moral, ananiambia unaweza. That's why hata niko hapa.
Yeah, I mean and best server zingine, maybe what was your difficult match kwa hii competition, Africa Club Championship?
Ile time kenye tulikuwa tunacheza na Ali final. Na team iko at crucial scores. Scores ziko 25 huko, like 24-25. Hiyo time ukiwekwa kuserve. Hapo unajua it's either uweke ndani vizuri ama ukilose ume fail team. Team itakublame.
Really?
Yeah. So hiyo ndio time crucial sana kwangu. Yeah.
Terry, but how do you deal with that? How do you deal, like, okay, itabidi tu waelewe because it's the game, unajua?
Itabidi sasa ujiamini hapo. Yeah.
Next one it will be better, sio?
Yeah.
Tata, how do you share na like you unafokuwa supposed kuwa the, unajua, kupatia timu ushindi but things are not working? How do you recollect yourself and with this in mind? I remember against Kenya Pipeline in the semi-final, I think they took the first set, sio? And you guys came back in the second set and Tata, you were flying, unajua. What nini aswa ambayo inakuinspire ku come back na kusema this is possible, tunaweza shinda hii game?
Kitu yenye mimi naweza sema volleyball kwanza iko na 5 sets. Na kwa hiyo 5 sets kuna mshindi na kuna loser. And then kuangalia kwa hiyo game ya Pipeline, siwezi sema timu yetu ilikuwa mbaya the first moment tukianza kucheza. Tulikuwa bado at the peak but ni vile tu reception maybe ilikataa na service but second set na kuendelea tulijiambia we can do it na tulishikana kama team. That's why tukawashinda.
I mean, and maybe it could be early to talk about it, but after Africa Championship, who is knocking on the door to sign you?
Kwa hiyo siwezi sema sahi.
Yeah, but kuna a few people, yeah, have knocked on the door. Unaangalia who suits you. Yeah, would it be in Africa, North Africa, West Africa, South America, Europe?
Okay, naweza sema maybe in US.
US.
Yeah.
Scholarship? Hey, all the best. Now Moima, have a scoop here, have a story. Anyway, Mildred, in Dubai, you know, and coming back, how would you say was factor ambayo ilifanya labda you went there and came back, and how better did you make KCB from the experience ambayo ulipata in Dubai?
Kwenda Dubai kurudi. Nilienda 2 years. Nikarudi. Nika decide okay, volleyball in Dubai is not that competitive kama Kenya. So mi kubaki Kenya nilitaka kupush more on my sport. So hiyo nilifanya nikabaki KCB na KCB kanikubali. Tukafika mahali tumefika.
And talking about maybe KCB right now, I know the focus now switches to the league, sio? Na amko mepatana na Kenya Pipeline kwa league bado hii season. What need to happen?
Ni kubaya. We expect to ushindi from our side. Tunaenda kukazi yetu yote because tunajua haitakuwa rahisi. Pia wanakuja na ile fujo ya tuliwapiga. So wanataka kutuprove mlitupiga lakini bado tunaweza wapiga, so itakuwa ngumu. But we want to promise our sponsor mbaya takufia mbele.
And we speaking with the KCB women's team. We take a short break, but we'll be back with more.
The 2021 Sports Personality of the Year was where Esther Ouna was inducted in the Hall of Fame.
I thank God because I think to myself it was a plus because of the achievements that I have done for this nation. So I was very excited, very, very excited. For me, I felt like it was the first time the country appreciated the achievement that I did. And I thank the organizers of SOYA having nominated me for this particular award.
The sport where she featured for many years to become one of Kenya volleyball greats.
Player that you used to hear about, I was able to do my achievements because of the discipline that I had. At the same time, I never feared training. I loved training because I could do my training even outside the normal training. I was able to do extra, just to make sure that I become a good setter and meet the objective of the team.
She had a taste of different sports while growing up before she eventually settled for volleyball.
In my primary, I was in Gishu Primary in Eldoret. And when I was in primary, I used to participate in all the sports. I played hockey, I played netball, I played volleyball, and athletics. And then from primary is where I joined Okumu Girls High School. And when I was in Okumu Girls, I participated in netball and volleyball and hockey. But I was pulled from all the others. They felt that I was the right person to be in volleyball. Although I was also very good in hockey. But I ended up in volleyball, where we used to participate even in the league matches with the clubs, and we used to emerge the winners until we were given the opportunity to participate in the East and Central Championships, where we used to beat teams like Zambia, Uganda, Tanzania, and the big clubs in Kenya. Like Posta at that time, there was Kenya Pipeline, there was Prisons, Ladies, and so many others.
Setting is the tactical center of the game, and she developed her skills from the onset.
I was still the best booster while in Okumu, and we used to even win the national trophies while playing with Lugulu girls. We used to beat Lugulu girls mostly in the finals. They also had a very tough team. In Okumu, they really appreciate sports. So at the time I was in Okumu, we were given opportunities and chances to participate even in the league, in the Kenya League. At that time, the headmistress was Sister Rita, and she gave us a lot of support when we were going for these sports activities. And that is how we emerged winners, because she really loved our volleyball team as a whole, plus all the other sports. And also the teachers, they supported us so much. And the team that we had was also very strong, whereby that you will find some of the players that came from Okumu also joined the national team after school. For example, we had Esther Inane, Margaret Indakala, Judy Serenge.
No sooner had she cleared her school than she joined the Kenya Post and Telecommunications Corporation, who had been eyeing her all along.
From school, we were just approached immediately. We finished the nationals, and after school, they also Posta had. I think they were very. They were very aggressive. They came and looked and got hold of us wherever we were. Like me, I was in Eldoret, and Mr. Kiambata sent somebody to come and pick me from there. to come to Nairobi immediately after school. And that is when we started, we joined the Posta team. That time it was Kenya Post and Telecommunication.
Esther proved herself to become a success story that also ensured a KPLC supremacy in the sport to dominate the local league and Africa Club Championship.
I always used to emerge as the best booster, especially in the Kekoso games and also in the league. As you can see the trophies here. I used to be given the trophies for the best setter or the best booster. And while in Posta, we were always winning the league. We also got we used to win the league, and we were emerging winners, whereby after winning, we used to go for the Africa Club Championships in various countries like Egypt. There's a time we went to Morocco, Algeria, and we also went for a World Championship. After winning the Africa Club Championship, we participated in one of the World Club Championships in Italy. That was in 1993. We won the league in 1992, 93, 94, up to 95. 96, I think it was Kenya Pipeline that took the trophy. Then 97 and 98 also we got the trophy back. And in 1999, that is when Posta was splitted. When it was split, I was still playing. I was transferred to Posta, and Telkom. The team remained with Telkom, but I still used to play for them. I used to get time to play for them. So while I was playing for them, we were still winning the Africa Championships. Like we won the Africa Championships in Egypt. That was 1996. And also in Mauritius, in I think that was 2008. 2008.
Her achievements earned her a call-up to the national women's volleyball team, where she carried on with her winning ways.
My first call-up was in 1998, when we had the All-African Games here in Kenya. And I really felt proud. You know, being in a national team is not an easy thing, but I was really proud. I couldn't make it to the final team, but I knew I was one of the best setters at that time. I have been in the national team severally. We participated in so many championships. We were here in Africa. We went with the national team to Nigeria for the qualifier for the World Championship, and also in the one we played for All African Games in Zimbabwe. And we emerged the winners, and that is where we ended up in Japan for the World Championship. And also, after playing in Nigeria, we ended up in Brazil for the national team also.
And that is where she made her most memorable moment to become the most impressive player twice in the World Championship in Japan, as Posta became the first club in the Kenya volleyball scene to compete at that level.
According to the training that I was going through and the determination, I managed to be the best, the most impressive player in two different matches while playing with the USA and Japan. I was given the most impressive player because I actually impressed the people who were looking for the best impressive players, and that is how I got the 2 trophies, because I was able to serve. By the way, service has been my thing all through. I was able to serve, and also setting. My setting was okay up to the standard. my most memorable time is when I used to play for the club, and I'm given, I emerge as one of the best, either server or a setter, both for the national team and also at the club level. That was the most memorable moment. And also when we were participating in the national team, when our national anthem used to be played, I think I used to shed tears because I could remember the whole country is looking at us. So I used to enter that pitch and really do my best so that we promote the nation as a whole.
But there were other moments too where they proved their mettle, which she remembers with nostalgia.
Okay, there's a time, the first time we went for club championship, that was in Zambia in 1980, that was 88, I believe so. 89, sorry. That was in Zambia. The first time we went, we were left by the plane, by the way, just here at JKIA. But our team manager managed to talk to the people at the airport, and we got a flight that took us up to Zimbabwe. Then from Zimbabwe, we went by road up to Zambia. When we reached immediately, because they knew we were the best, I think they organized with the referees to really frustrate us. Because we just arrived immediately and we were given the first match against Zambia. And then the referees were just biased. We never made it for that match. Another memorable moment is when we played with Egypt. That was club championship. I think even the referees were biased because we took the first 2 sets, and the third set, when the players were hitting the ball next to the line, the referees were just saying it was out. So we were playing while crying, but we managed to win 3-0. After we won, the spectators, they wanted to hit us with stones, but there was a lot of security. So we stayed in the gym for about 30 minutes to let the spectators go back to go home, but they had removed the ladder where we were sitting, so we were not able to go down the stairs. They removed the ladder until one of the security guys just sympathized with us, and then he put the ladder, and then we went back to the hotel. It was very bad that moment. We played while crying.
Those were the days when a team rivalry was at its peak, what with so many competitive clubs.
Our rivals mostly was, at club level, was Kenya Pipeline. Because we had most of our players that we were with them in Okumu were also our opponents. So at the time when we were playing together, everybody was wearing a very serious face. There was no friendship at all. And you would find sometimes they were winning, and other times the opposter was also winning. So it was quite tough. When you used to go for the finals, we had a lot of tension before you play the match. So it was a bit difficult. And in the Kekoso games at that time, we had, most of the teams were good, but most of the finals we were playing against either Railways, Kenya Railways, or Kenya Ports Authority. They had very tough teams. And also the same thing happened, because you would find that our opponents are the same players that we were playing with them in school. So it was, we knew each other. It was just like AFC and Gor Mahia.
And this is what made them thrive.
As a club, there was a lot of support from the management, whereby we used to be taken to the camp for training. When there is a major match, we could even be in the camp for 3 months before the event. And they catered for everything. Accommodation, even sports equipments were always available. We got all the resources, and we were very comfortable while in the camp. And that is how we used to emerge as winners. I can say things have changed, because as I have told you, we used to go for training for 3 months, which cannot happen now because of financial constraints. And also, at that time, people are coming from school and they are employed immediately. So they were getting fresh players from school who are very willing to make a name for the organization. They were able to meet the objective of the organization. And like now, there's no employment.
And this is what made her excel in her specialty too in volleyball, that is setting and serving.
I used to do very good services. At the same time, I could receive very tough spikes from the opponents. And that is how I emerged the most impressive players in both the two matches. The best setter, I got about three trophies. And the best server, I think they are also about 4.
When Kenya Post and Telecommunications Corporation split into 2, she chose to remain at Postal Corporation of Kenya as other players left for Telcom Kenya, and that is how her career changed.
And I happened to be in Posta, where all the ladies had gone to Telcom. So we were just about 3 of us, and we couldn't form a team. So that is how I ended up. I said it was time for me also to look for something else to do.
However, she decided to take up coaching, where she ensured that the Postal Corporation of Kenya men's volleyball team, that is Posta, domination of the Kekoso Games.
At the time I got the team, they were number 5. And then I took the team to number 2, and as we are talking, they have always been number 1. Mawasiliano Trophy, as I've told you, we used to go for training for 3 months. So you can imagine after 3 months, the volleyball is in your blood. There's nothing else that is in your blood and your mind. So we were just playing volleyball, eating volleyball, and speaking volleyball. And that is how we used to come up as winners. I brought that team for men from the number 5 to number 1. It is a great achievement because you'll find even in that team, I came up with the international players. At the same time, we had professionals like Philip Mayo, Evans Mbera. Because when you see the players are not doing well, you would always wish that you could be inside that pitch, which is not possible. So you tend to become more tense than the players.
She owes a lot to her employer for all the support they've offered her both as a player and coach since she joined them from school.
At Posta, I am in the insurance office. I'm a legal assistant there. Okay, Posta has been very helpful because when I left playing, they gave me the opportunity to become the team manager. At the same time, on the technical bench. So I really thank the management because they gave me that opportunity. And you can see we don't have a ladies team, but that opportunity came in as a men's team manager at the same time as a technical bench. So it is a great opportunity. I really thank the management for that.
And when she was inducted in the Sports Personality of the Year Hall of Fame, that is SOYA, the Postmaster General Dan Kagwe led the staff in recognizing her outstanding contributions, which have put them on the world map.
First, I want to congratulate Esther for achieving a milestone, a very rare milestone in somebody's career. She's been in volleyball forever, and I think to be identified, to be honored as a Hall of Famer is a great achievement. And to us as a Postal Corporation, we thank the people who organized this. But besides, we also want to encourage the younger people, the youth, to actually get more involved in sports, to get committed in what somebody does, because eventually it's hard work and commitment that produces this kind of results. So to Esther, it's been a journey. We congratulate you. I hope as a corporation we have supported you and we will continue supporting you in your goals ahead. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent.
Her family have always supported her throughout her career, as her sports means so much to them too, and is the glue that also binds them together.
My family, I can say they have been very supportive, and they always don't mind when they see me going out. They really pray for me when I go out to participate, especially in sports, and they really encourage me. Even when I got this award I believe that was part of their prayer, because they know I have been achieving in so many ways. So when I got this particular award, they were very excited. I think their prayer was partly answered, but I believe I need to move further than more than what I have done now. As maybe, like now, I still want to form a team that can participate in the league, and also maybe go into international championships. That is when I will feel I have done it.
A lot has changed since Esther Ouna was a force to reckon with in the Kenya volleyball scene, with a lot of challenges facing the current players. The legend urges them not to lose their bearing in these times if they are to take the game to the next level.
Volleyball is a good game, and it can take you far if you are serious. So I'd really encourage upcoming players to be more disciplined and be tough when it comes to training. They should not fear training. And also, they should focus. They should really focus, not only in volleyball, but even their private life. Yeah, because if you just sit there as a volleyball player and you don't think about the future, you will end up as a nobody. As we have these ladies teams, all I can say is that we really need to mentor our girls, because if we don't mentor them, that is when they end up with doing funny, crazy things. Mine is just to encourage the nation. At least we get clubs which can maybe come up with the gyms, because mostly when we go out there, volleyball is an indoor game. But you'll find most of the time we are just playing outside. So when you go there, it becomes very difficult. So I think the best thing we can have here in Kenya, just to encourage our Minister for Sports, if we can come up with clubs which can build gyms for volleyball and even basketball, mostly the indoor games, I believe we can make it.
Yes, and welcome back. This is, of course, the Sports Check. Thank you so much for staying with us. Time for us to switch over and to our second interview. We are speaking with Kenya's sole female judoka at the Olympics since 1988. She did participate in 2024 Paralympic Games and gave the country as well as the East Africa region a lot of honor and glory. I'm speaking about Zeddy Cherotich, who is also won bronze more recently, 2 weeks ago or a week ago. She did win bronze at the Africa Senior Judo Championship that ended here in Nairobi at Kasarani Gymnasium. Karibu sana Zeddy, and great to have you on the set. I mean, I remember when I watched you winning that bronze after your fight against Hanjarine Zo, the player from Madagascar. You were so elated. What did it mean for you? Your bronze ilimaanisha nini kwako?
That bronze is something I've been waiting for. Since I joined Judo, I was very happy. I was very happy, especially for the fans. They really cheered me up. Yes.
Ilikuwa ni like your first African title, African medal.
Yeah, it was my first African medal. And I was really happy for it. Yes.
Yes. I mean, and it's also ensured that you qualify for the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah. That winning bronze medal has and earned me so many points, and I've already qualified for the Commonwealth Games. Yes.
Was it just that particular tournament, as well as the championship ambazo zilikuwa Morocco during the Africa Senior Championship early in the year, this 2026?
No, it was just only that African Championship that was held in Kenya that made me to qualify for the Commonwealth Games. Yes.
How difficult was it for you to win, especially at home? Pressure ilikuwa juu?
Pressure ilikuwa juu sana. And but at least nilikuwa na motisha. Nilikuwa na my teammates walikuwa hapo karibu na mimi. The coaches, they really supported me. So the bronze medal itself, haikuwa yangu peke yangu. I had to dedicate to the fans. Yes.
And maybe we're qualifying for the Commonwealth Games means that the Olympic dream, LA 2028, is also getting closer.
I'm really happy because this is my first Commonwealth Games, and I was happy when I was told I've qualified for the championship. And I think definitely 2028 LA. Here I come again.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. What will you be looking for?
I think 2028 I'll be looking for at least to play well, not like the 2024 that was in Paris. 2028 I will just enjoy the mat and play well. Yes.
And maybe looking, maybe we could draw from the experiences of 2024, what has changed? How better have you become?
I've really changed in so many areas, especially creeping and counter attacks. In 2024, bado nilikuwa mgeni. Kuna some areas sikuwa nime perfect, but I think so far, even for me winning that bronze, it's because so many coaches, I think, from our country, walinisaidia sana kubadilisha so many things, and that made me to win the medal. Yes.
And maybe talking about the impact of my coaches, right? How impactful has the Japanese coach, who is seconded to Kenya team by the International Federation been?
Okay, I really thank the KJF because walituletea the Japan from the coach from Japan, and tumekuwa hapo Kasarani since January that tumekuwa camp and kucheza na players from different clubs. Hiyo ilichangia because hata tukiwa hapo tulikuwa tunacheza na wanaume, so hao ndio walinisaidia sana, na hapo ndio coaches from different clubs pia, kila mtu alikuwa anakuja na different ideas na walinisaidia sana.
How difficult was it for you to play in the Africa Championship at home and finally win? What would you say about the quality your opponents ambao ulipata now on the road to bronze?
I think I'm very lucky because winning the first match inakuanga napewa the player from South Africa. Even the past competition last year and last year part 1 nilianza na South Africa, so I think ni kama niko na bahati na watu wa South Africa. So that was my first competition. Nilianza na mtu wa South Africa, I won. I lost the second game and I was given the repechage. So wakati nilishinda the repechage, nikapewa the bronze medal. Yes.
Yes, indeed. And the bronze now got your way to Glasgow Games. Would you have gone there if you had not won bronze?
No, but we still have another competition outside the country. So if kama singeshinda this competition yenye tuli host, maybe ningepewa chance to represent the country in the next Africa Championship. Kama ningeshinda pia ningepewa. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
And looking at maybe you're now blazing the trail, going to the Commonwealth Games again, and this is big. How big is it for especially some of your teammates, who akina Jerry, the young ones like Ulova coming up?
They were very happy wakati waliona nimequalify for the Commonwealth Games. Na nashukuru sana kwa sababu hata now I think we have Mary Njeri and Caroline Sigei for the ladies. They might qualify also because they won their first match. Yes.
Sure. Yeah. And how important itakuwa na umuhimu gani especially to judoka?
I'm very happy because haitakuwa mtu mmoja anaenda that Commonwealth Games. We might be given at least 4 to 6 players, and I will be very happy as a senior player to have at least they are coming to junior, they might, but I know they will qualify for the Commonwealth Games. Yes.
Sure. I mean, and for you, I think you've been in the sport for the last 6 or 7 years and things are really working out for you. Did you ever plan that if you go to judo, knowing your history coming from javelin athletics, did you ever imagine?
I didn't know that I was going to make history, especially in judo, but I've been in sports since I was young, and I was in athletics for the last more than 10 years, and I really thank God because, and also thank the coaches and my teammates, but deep down my heart I knew one day, one time I will represent the country, but I didn't know it was judo. Yes.
Sure. And of course Olympics and still going on, what has been, you know, like imekweka still focused, you know, many people, and especially with such a story, if you go to Olympics and you just picked up a sport, you know, not less than a decade ago, if you go to the Olympics, the highest, you know, what else, what makes you stay hungry?
Right now everyone is telling me now, Zeddy, hauko tena mahali ulikuanga. Winning that bronze medal imeniweka mahali, at least I have to be more serious in training, and again going for the Commonwealth Games lazima nitie bidii. Yes.
What are your expectations now in Commonwealth in Glasgow, and what must you work on today?
Right now I want to work on my strength conditioning, and again in my speed, and my expectation in the next and upcoming Commonwealth Games, God willing, I want to be top 3.
Sure.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, what must you do?
I need to work on some areas, and especially the gripping and the movement on the mat. Yes.
What did you realize, especially after maybe your matches against wachezaji kutoka North Africa, as well as some players that you've met from Europe, from elsewhere? What makes them good? And you know, you've played with them, you've won some, you've lost some, but what really makes them, you know, that thick, and maybe some of the things that you also are incorporating in your play, in your style of play?
Some of them walianza judo when they were young, and the difference that I have with them is that wale wako na speed, na ukiwaona hata their posture, mwili yao iko tu sawa, wameenda gym. So that's why I want to start also in the next, I think, 2 to 3 years. I will be somewhere, if only I will work hard and change my techniques and also my speed, kuongeza speed yenye nakuanga nayo. Yes.
Sure, and speed is a key factor in judo, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you develop it? How do you develop speed?
For you to develop speed, for a judoka, you need to work on so many areas, especially kucheza kwa mazoezi. Lazima kuwa unafanya mazoezi with different categories. Usistick on your category. Unafaa kuwa unaenda chini. Kama mimi niko under 78, I should play with some of under 52, under 70, under 63, because hao ndio kuna speed kuniliko. Na kupata the strength, na kupata hiyo nguvu, lazima nicheze na mtu wa plus. At least kitu 140, 100 and above kgs. Yes.
To get the speed, right?
Yes.
Really good insights there on how you become better. Currently, maybe your ranking, you can just walk us through your rank today, right? And what you need to do to get to the LA 2028. I know Commonwealth was also part of the qualification process here.
In fact, before championship that was here in Kenya, nilikuwa 114. So wakati nilipata hiyo medal, nilikuja world ranking number 70. So before 2028 LA, nataka nikuja around number 40 in the world ranking. Yes.
That's when you'll get to the LA 2028.
Yes.
And is it possible?
It is. Yeah.
Why so confident that it's possible?
It is because right now niko very much confident, especially wakati niliwin that bronze. Sai hata niko ready nikipewa any championship outside the country, especially in Africa. Siwezi acha tena. Siwezi achilia.
Sure.
Yeah.
How long do you see you'll dominate especially the African game?
I want to dominate this year and next year. Yes.
Then what happens? Look at the Olympics.
After Olympics, I think I'll look for something else. Maybe being a coach. Yes.
Being a coach, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you'll make. I'm just, believing and know that surely you'll make a very good coach. Yeah?
Yeah.
Looking at how you've come, and what you've achieved so far. Yeah. Well, what do you make your story? How do you make people to understand, especially the young, those, the ones who are likely to benefit from your mind, from your knowledge?
Right now, hata tukiwa nao kwa mat, tukifanya mazoezi, you see so many players, especially ladies, wanakuja kwangu na wananiambia, Zeddy, what do you do? Wewe uko na nguvu. Hata hao vijana, wewe uko na nguvu, wewe unafanyanga nini? Tusaidie. Nikamwambia, sasa for a sport lady, never give up. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you had to not to give up on? In what situations? Have you ever thought about giving up? Because when javelin was not working, you went to judo. To judo.
I love sport very much. I really love sport very much. And after Olympics 2024, I got injury in my both knee, and I stayed, I think 2025 last year. Sikuwa nafanya mazoezi ile mzuri. And I was told to go for a surgery, but nilikata. I had to look for a physiotherapy. Na huyo mtu alinisaidia na kaniambia yako si mbaya. So that person, I really thank him.
Yeah. Is a national team physio?
Yeah. Athletics. Yeah.
You can mention it.
John. Anaitwa John Mayaka. I really thank him. Amenitoa mbali. I had to go for various physio. And before this competition, nilikuwa na yeye, and he told me that you are going to make it.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and those are the journeys that injuries are like the biggest test to an athlete, right?
Yeah.
And coming up from them and going on in a technique.
In fact, hiyo last year, I was like, sijui niachane na judo kwa sababu the pain that I had in my legs haikuwa rahisi. But because I love sport na nimekaa kwa sport na najua all the challenges, so I had to look. Ingekuwa ni mtu mwingine angeenda direct to surgery. Yeah. So going to the surgery, that hiyo ingeniaka nje na maybe singerudi judo. Yeah.
So you had to look for advice here more than one person.
Yeah, I did it. Yes.
And now look, already umeenda Olympics now. I mean, why not even just let it go? But we'll talk about that after this short break. We take a break. We'll be back with Zeddy, and also later on I'll be speaking with Ronnie Lusigi, the president of the Esports Federation of Kenya. So stay with us on Channel 1.
Mbona mmefunga choo?
Unatubungulia mubungwi.
Munipaie kare. Wewe.
Atafuta waiter. Umesema umeitana mara ngapi? Mara kama 6 hivi. Enda itana zingine 7. Hiyo kunieka yote.
Kimbia. Huko ni kupaya. Mbona unaletea chai na baridi hivyo? Ni nini inaendelea hapa kwa hii hoteli? Ni nini mbaya na wewe?
Watu wanaongezwa misara, wanaongezwa, wewe unaona sisi
shida yenu ni nini aswa? Sasa ngoja nije polisi. Polisi ndio wanakuja kwa
atini.
Kitchen's big. Cooking, it's got everything. South-facing, big floor-to-ceiling windows. Take a look.
It kind of seems like you're living here too.
Does it?
What's wrong with your leg?
I was in a hurry. I tripped over.
It's New Year's. Why were you in a hurry?
Take it easy. It's not worth getting hurt.
Can't you stop looking at your phone? Everyone's eating. Why are you so busy?
Your girlfriend's gone. Forget about your stocks.
It's fine.
Yes, and welcome back. I'm speaking with Zeddy Cherotich, the Olympian as well as the Africa Senior Judo Championship bronze winner. She's here to speak to us about her Commonwealth plans targets and also her struggles to this particular bronze, the backstory that we really didn't know so much about. You know, people don't get to see, but you know, that's what makes the champions. And we were, Zeddy, karibu tena. So we all about, you know, how you won this particular bronze, and just speaking with you just makes me now understand and know that for real how sweet this particular bronze was, you know, coming back from the injury. But how long did you sit out? How long did you, like, you know, recuperate, get injured, and then you had to maybe take a year just getting like treatment? How long did it take, Ndorudi?
After the Paris 2024, I realized I had injury on December, and nika prep for 1 month. After 1 month tukarudi mazoezi. So immediately wakati tulienda mazoezi, kasikia my knee haikuwa inawaka. So I had to talk with coaches. Wakaniambia just do ile kitu miguu inaweza kubali. So nilikuwa wanaenda gym with upper body, but kukimbia sikuwa nafanya anything. And ikabidi nimeenda hospitali. So aenda nikapigwa hiyo x-ray, nikaenda MRI, and I was told that niko na issue na meniscus, ilikuwa imetear up. And the only solution I was given is to go for a surgery. But before ni decide, nilikuja nikaongea na John Mayaka, and he told me to go and see him kwa clinic yake, and to cancer physio. Yes.
Sure. And now you're here talking about, you know, recovering and now going for the Commonwealth. What will Commonwealth Games mean for you, despite the fact that it will be the first time?
Yeah, it will mean a lot to me because that was the only remaining championship. Sikuwa nimequalify. At least nimequalify for the World Championship. Nimekuwa in the Olympics. The remaining part of it ilikuwa Commonwealth Games. So I'll be very glad to be among the players who will represent the country. Yes.
Sure, speaking with Zeddy here, but remember we also keeping tabs on what's happening on several leads being pursued by reporters on the ground, and in this particular case we'll be joining into Strathmore University. We'll be going to Strathmore University where there is the Media Council of Kenya commemorating the World Freedom Day, which is being marked today. So let's listen in.
While our media landscape is one of the most dynamic in Africa, made up of over 250 active radio stations and a digital advertising market projected to grow at 16% annually for the next 5 years, we must be candid about the headwinds we face. It's all not rosy in the sector. Kenya's decline in the World Press Freedom Index to 117th place is a downward trajectory that demands a coordinated, strategic response from all of us in the sector. Our counter strategies must be localized and context aware. As you're all aware, we are firmly in the artificial intelligence era, and we must properly align. Therefore, as a ministry, through the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy 2025 to 2030, the government has established a comprehensive framework to guide the country on governance and innovation. Most importantly, as a ministry, we are overseeing the review of several laws to align with the realities of the sector. First, the Kicker Act, the mother law, it's a overhaul of the Act and its 16 regulations. So as a sector, we need to be engaged with. Number two, we are also reviewing the Media Council Act. As you are going so properly. At the same time, we are finalizing the access to information policy, which is long overdue, which is actually a constitutional requirement. The government communication policy, for the longest time, we've never had a coordinate government communication policy, which is now at cabinet. We are also working with the support of the Public Relations Society. We are finalizing the Public Relations and Communication Management Bill. This law will define who is a communication professional. At the same time, we are also accelerating the National Addressing System of Kenya system, which will unlock e-commerce, among other opportunities. In respect of the press as a vital component of a trusted data ecosystem, our focus is centered on ensuring that as the media ecosystem evolves, new technologies serve to protect rather than undermine public trust. This requires an integrated approach across 3 core pillars. First is regarding AI-driven integrity. As a government, we are deploying detection capabilities to identify, generate synthetic and manipulated content as media practitioners. Number 2, to support media viability, we recognize that as advertising revenues shift with an estimated 64% of spend moving to digital by 2029, we must work to get sustainable business models for journalism. Number 3, we are digital sovereignty, ensuring that as our nation transitions from consumers to creators, our local narratives, indigenous languages are actively protected from automated propaganda. The viability of a modern media economy is intrinsically linked to robust connectivity. The digital superhighway pillar of the government's data plan is providing the foundational hardware for press freedom by rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable to enable seamless data flows. Alongside this, we are deploying 1,450 Jitume hubs across the country to scale digital skilling for public communication officers and journalists alike, complemented by 25,000 free public Wi-Fi hotspots to ensure that information access remains a fundamental right rather than a privilege. As we approach the 2027 general election, the integrity of our information ecosystem will inevitably be tested by the weaponization of social media platforms and deepfakes. Our strategic choice moving forward is whether we merely seek to regulate, remove, or entirely rebuild our approach to digital discourse. Our responsibility stands to steward the adoption of new technologies with foresight, ensuring regulation keeps pace with innovation while building secure, transparent ecosystems. By balancing proactive oversight with infrastructure investment, we can foster a trusted digital space that protects democratic values and serves the public interest. Going forward, the future of journalism lies in responsible enablement, not restriction. Kenya is ready to lead the region in shaping media governance that unlocks value for our people while safeguarding editorial independence. We look forward to today's deliberations, translating into a robust World Press Freedom Day 2026 media sector declaration. We expect this gathering to articulate specific measurable commitments across journalist safety, media viability, digital governance, and the protection of editorial independence. Declarations carry worth only when accompanied by clear mechanisms for implementation and accountability, and this ministry stands ready to be held to account under the framework agreed upon today. Let us rise collectively to the challenge of shaping a future anchored on truth and accountability. That is my message from PS Stephen Isaboke. Having read that, and as government protocol demands, I will now say one or two things of what we are doing at the ministry to make sure that the sector remains as vibrant as it is. I must first of all start by saying so many people envy our media ecosystem. We receive a lot of delegations to come and just benchmark on what we are doing right, especially during this transition. There are things we are getting right as a sector that, as I have challenged Media Council before, that we need to document in a media sustainability framework. And in Nairobi next week, I think we should be ready to showcase some of these things we are getting right. And I must congratulate Media Council of Kenya because you're leading in many of these media sustainability activities that may be scattered all over, but that are contributing to our media sustainability landscape. So one of the things that keeps us busy at the ministry is just to make sure that this sector remains vibrant. And one of the things we are having a conversation around is how do we make sure that media remains independent, remains the vanguard of our democracy, and remains an important employer. Because at its peak, media was one of, many young people ran to media for employment. So we need to around it and remains. The things we are doing through Media Council, press, those media hubs, and all those things that we are doing to make sure that journalists, young people, continue to earn a living from their trade is what we are keen on. The other thing is, just in all, I'll tell you, unlike law or lawyers, you can practice until you breathe your last. There are a lot of young journalists leaving the newsroom, and we have no framework for support. And one of the things we are thinking about as a ministry is how do we then have support for media veterans? These are highly informed, highly opinionated people who can contribute to setting national agenda, but they're all over the place through associations. So as a ministry and as a sector, we need to think about how to support our media veterans. And my chairman mentioned some of them who are in the room, and we think they still have opportunity.
And that's Mr. David Omoyo, the CEO of the Media Council of Kenya, speaking on the commemoration of the World Freedom Day, which is ongoing at Strathmore University, and the theme being Shaping a Future at Peace. Of course, just highlighting the role of the media, or the role that journalism plays in promoting cohesion, especially in society. And also that particular function, it is expected that the state of the media report 2025 will be launched. This and other details from the commemoration of the World Media Freedom Day will be coming in our reports that will be filed by reporters covering that specific function. But also, we'd like to join the government spokesperson, that's Isaac Mora, who is live at the Harambee Annex in Nairobi, addressing the nation on a raft of issues that affect the day-to-day lives of every Kenyan. Let's listen to the government spokesperson, Mr. Isaac Mora.
Laboratories and strengthening the grade 10 uptick. There are teething problems, yes, but we are on top of the game, and we are doing so. The same case also when you look at the new funding model, we are hearing people trying to make assertions about availability of funding, and clearly that is further than the truth. We've already been able to revise the fees, based on the MTI downwards, and many people are paying very affordable fees. We are also in the process of building a 178,000 student bed capacity so that we are able to deal with the issue of shortage of hostels. And we continue to increase funding to the Higher Education Loans Board to support students financially with scholarships and reforms designed to help the vulnerable students so that they are able to remain in university and technical, TVET schools. When it comes to universal healthcare, we've had people trying to attack the Edu Afia, program and all of the issues that had been raised by the teacher unions. But the government has sat down with them and is pleased to announce significant progress made in the health sector through bold reforms and decisive actions. In just 3 years, the government has expanded health insurance coverage from fewer than 8 million Kenyans to nearly 30.8 million. Under the Social Health Authority, approximately 65% of our population currently have been registered, and so therefore they stand to access essential health services, a substantial improvement from 16% coverage under the defunct National Hospital Insurance Fund. It's doing better. We have been able to disburse over 280 billion shillings so far, and that is really commendable. And we must tell the government story, because if we don't tell the government story, fellow members of the state, somebody else is going to tell, there will be this misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And that is why this office exists, so that we can come and speak, and you ask questions, and we're able to respond, and so that you're able to know what is happening. And so therefore, we have really improved from 16% coverage under NHIF to 65%. You can see that's a very huge increase of 49%, and that is extremely, admirable. Nothing like that has happened before. So the government remains committed to ensuring that every Kenyan benefits from quality and affordable health care. Further, the government is committed to transforming Kenya's education sector to meet the needs of today's economy and society, making sure every child and young person has a chance to succeed. The Social Health Authority, in partnership with the Ministry of Health and teachers' unions, have reached a significant agreement to improve medical coverage for nearly 350,000 public school teachers. This agreement eliminates core payments by removing system configurations that cause out-of-pocket expenses, ensuring that all contracted health facilities no longer charge teachers at the point of service. The agreement also expands healthcare benefits by providing access to specialized treatment abroad through selected hospitals in Turkey, India, and Saudi Arabia. Locally, this is very important. New services such as in vitro fertilization, IVF, have been added to better support teachers' health needs. And this is very critical, especially because of issues of people who may be facing challenges of infertility and getting children. Basically, let's put it across that way, getting children. So IVF now then becomes part of what can be paid for, because it's been extremely important, costing even up to 2 million shillings, depending on consultations. But now people are able to get that because there's a facility. There's a bill, of course, in the Senate, assisted reproduction, that is still being conversed about. And that's a very, groundbreaking, progress. A bill that was introduced initially by Millie Odhiambo and then Judy Sijeni, the former senator also, but now it's still going on so that we can resolve that matter once and for all. So this is very, very good news for those who are suffering in that category, because it has been something that has not been addressed before. In demonstrating ongoing commitment, SHA has cleared a backlog of 160 last expense claims, each valued at Kenya shillings 300,000, with payments set for disbursement promptly. To guarantee smooth implementation and continuous oversight, county-level committees comprising of SHA, the Teacher Service Commission, TSC, and union representatives will meet regularly to monitor service delivery and address any issues. Additionally, SHA is finalizing tariff negotiations with healthcare providers nationwide to standardize services and improve efficiency. This collaborative initiative highlights the government's dedication to supporting our educators by providing accessible, comprehensive, and quality healthcare. Let's now turn to the affordable housing program. I think you can see clearly, fellow Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen, members of the fourth estate, Kenya is now a construction site. There is nowhere you will go you don't find affordable housing projects. Yesterday, there at Kangari Market, you can see a beautiful market, complete there, and with a sign Mama Mboga, a clear indication of the fact that we are keeping our promises as government when we look at the 5 pillars of the better plan. Affordable housing actually has made Kenya to become a best practice worldwide. Because we are celebrated. How do we fund, affordable housing? Over 9,000 people have already received their houses. 640,000 Kenyans have been able to get jobs. 273,000 houses constructed at different points and counting. And even if you look at the economic survey, actually it clearly says in 2025, the greatest sector growth is actually, construction, primarily because of affordable housing. So we remain firmly on course to achieve our target of 1 million jobs under this transformative national initiative. In fact, it is the desire of the government, by the time we go to the next elections, we have at least 4 or 5 million jobs created under the various programs of the Better Plan. That is our vision, that is our commitment, because through this program, the government is not only building homes, but also reshaping urban development nationwide, making home ownership a reality for thousands of Kenyan people who would otherwise not have owned a decent home. And of course, we are doing away with the issue of slums. Currently, as I said earlier, 273,000 homes.
Government spokesperson Isaac Mora, they are speaking at Harambee Annex in Nairobi and of course addressed a number of issues including the universal health coverage. He said that the government has sat down with civil servants on the access of the healthcare, which he says has gone up, increased in percentage from 16% to 65% in the coverage of the civil servants, as well as saying that, reiterating that the government is committed to providing healthcare and medical coverage to teachers who they say they are in talks to ensure that they receive or they get the best option in terms of the coverage of their health. This is, of course, the Sports Check. Thank you so much for staying with us on Channel 1 and Zeddy Cherotich. We'll be back with her here. She, just to wrap up the interview, been speaking about her preparations for the Commonwealth Games, especially after winning that particular bronze in Nairobi during the Africa Senior Judo Championship, and now what lies next. Road to 2028 LA. It's also just gotten halfway. So is she ready for that? Zeddy, thank you, right? But now the expectations and your targets, how are we going to prepare now for the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, which is in August?
I think I'm going to training again. I need to prepare very well. My expectation right now is very high. Everyone is watching me. And God willing, I might not say I'm going to win, but I'm going to work very hard. I'm going to train hard and focus on the key areas where I'm supposed to work on it. Yes. Sure.
Yeah. And of course, it will be a beautiful story at the Commonwealth Games if you get all the way to the podium.
Yeah.
Not out of the, not, you know, it's part of your target.
Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed. And your inspiration to the other players, I mean, that maybe hanging up the, you know, the mat, leaving the mat.
Never lose hope in your life, in any other activities. You need to work very hard and also pray God. And as a sport lady, you just love whatever you're doing, love your sport, train very hard, and also have discipline. Yes.
Sure. And at some moment, maybe it appeared like it's not, you know, it's not what it should be.
I know so many people don't believe in themselves, but as for me, I usually believe in whatever I'm doing, and also respect you need to respect your coaches, respect your workmates, for you to succeed in life.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Thank you so much, Zeddy. We wish you all the best as you begin your preparations for the Commonwealth Games, and also we hope that maybe the next Africa Championship, that bronze will be gold. So,
yeah.
Yes, and make it 2 times in a row for you'll be the only judoka to have ever gone to 2 Olympics in East Africa. So we wish you all the best. Zeddy,
thank you so
I know
much.
that now you know so much, a little bit about Zeddy. You know, she is the Kenya's only Olympian that's in judo in the last 40 years. You know, the last one was in 1988. That was in Seoul, Korea. But she did, you know, replicate that particular feat and qualified for the 2024 and also won bronze at the Africa Senior Championship. Thank you so much for making your time. And we wish you the best as you carry the nation's flag in Commonwealth Games. Up next, I'll be speaking with Ronnie Lusigi. She'll be giving us an update on what's happening, what's the status of the Kenya's team that's taking part in the E-Nations FIFA World Cup qualifiers. How good are we, and when after the first round, where do we lie, you know, in terms of the pooling, and who do we meet, and do we have a chance? So stand by for that. Ronnie will be here in a short while.
My name is Elizabeth Kasidi, and I'm 10 years old, and I stay in Kitale, and my school name is Kitale School. I love chess because it's an interesting game that helps me to improve my psychology, and it helps me to know what to do in life. My favorite subjects at school are maths, home science, English, and PE. I love them because mostly I love PE because it helps me to be physical fit. For a tournament like this, like it has a long-term game, so I have to stay for long, so it helps me to be physical fit. One day I was just murmuring around. Then at school I saw people playing this game. I asked what it is. Then they told me it's a game called chess, and it was so interesting because I went to ask my dad what's chess, and then my dad was so happy and he told me that he used to play it when old time. So I wanted to try that thing. Chess helps me in school because it, like in maths, it's easy for me to calculate because I'm used to calculate on the board. And it's really good because sometimes I always get high grades in maths. I always train very hard before a tournament. Actually, my teachers at school always complain because I put more focus in chess, but I always try my best to work on my studies too. I always do chess early in the morning, and then afternoon I always play some little bit of games, then I start studying. My mom is a teacher at my school. My dad is a chess coach. So my dad helps me sometimes with the school works, and my mom always helps me too with school work. So when I have problem with chess, I go to my dad. Or maybe my mom is not around, I go to my dad and he helps me do the academic work. I've won a lot of tournaments. Mostly I've won several. We went to Ghana and I got a silver medal. We two played the finals. I was a position 1. We played the qualifiers. I was position 1. And there are more other tournaments that I always get a gold medal in each category. Actually, the only medal that I've never got as bronze. I only have gold. The only silver medal is from Ghana. The first one was I was just starting chess, I told my dad to pay for me the tournaments, so I got position 2. My dad was so happy because actually I was just being told how to move the pieces and everything, and they just told me full spade checkmate, so that's what I used to do, and then I won. That's the way I won the tournament. I've won so many tournaments, but the one who I always love is the first one because that tournament was amazing. We ate good things at school. And it was good because I had to win a gold medal for my first time. Chess is not only for boys and girls, and people say that boys are stronger in chess, but it doesn't matter because it matters to the psychology. And the more you can meet the boy and you start fearing. And it's always like this, that when a girl beats a boy, it's like a miracle, but it's not a miracle. It matters with the strength, who's stronger. I'd like to say thank you to my coach, Coach Ben and Coach Hugh. And I'd like to say thank you to my parents for supporting me for this whole time. And thank you so much.
Yes, and welcome back. This is the Sports Check with me, Bernard Okumu. I'm joined by Ronnie Lusigi, the president of the Esports Federation of Kenya. Karibu sana, Ronnie. It's been quite a moment since we last spoke, but a lot has been happening, Ronnie. The qualification for FIFA E-World Cup. Let's begin there. How far is Kenya in its quest to qualify for this prestigious tournament? Which will be like it will break new grounds for esports in the country.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bernard, for having me. And thank you once again for giving Esport Kenya Federation a platform to share what we do and to raise awareness amongst also other Kenyans. So yeah, rightfully so, we have entered into a partnership with Football Kenya Federation, and it's something we are doing in other federations also, because now all international sports bodies are having an esports segment. The FIA has it, FIFA has it, FIBA has it. So what we do as a federation is we enter into partnerships with the relevant federations to ensure we give our young people who are talented in this an opportunity to do that. So it has been a year-long conversation with FKF, and it culminated in us having a partnership that has allowed for the first time Kenya to participate in the FIFA E competition. FIFA E is normally organized by FIFA. I think it's now the 9th or 10th edition, where every year they do a FIFA E World Cup. So the qualification starts with the FIFA E Nations League, which we have to play across 3 rounds. And we have registered Kenya for the Rocket League, for the e-football on mobile, and e-football on PlayStation.
That's on the console. Yes. And how important was it that you have FKF involved in this? Yet I know that esports had already had a pool of players having been around, organized tournaments, number of players already. You had like a pool of players who are out there. So how did you have to work with FKF in I'll say maybe sanctioning, whatever that you were doing?
Yeah, sport is in the spirit of partnership. And as sport is evolving and diversifying, you need these partnerships. I believe they have one with futsal, they have one with people in beach sport. And it was only necessary because at Esports Federation, we have the technical know-how of running esports competitions, and we sanction esports competitions in the country. On the other hand, FKF, being a FIFA member, all competitions run under FIFA are mandated to be done by FKF. So it was really, the synergies were really right for us to work together. And I'd like to congratulate also FKF because they've given us that enabling environment to execute this. And as we speak now, we can also see the results is there. The FIFA E-Nations League will have qualifiers across 3 weeks, and the top 8 in Africa will go to a location that FIFA is going to announce soon for a continental championship.
And the journey has begun already?
The journey has begun. In early April, we started the eFootball console week 1, where we finished in the semi-final place. So in the consistency ranking points, which determines the top 8 countries, in the eFootball on console, we are placed 3rd. So that's already a strong foot forward. We did last week the Rocket League, and again there we are placed 5th after getting to the quarterfinal. And tomorrow we are starting the eFootball Mobile, which I believe we are even stronger. eFootball Mobile, remember we have one of the top 5 players in the continent in Hannington Kiplagat, who did well in January in Morocco, and we have a lot of emerging talent in that. So I believe very much, again, tomorrow we are going to be having a positive start. And the goal is that in all of these 3 rounds of the FIFA E-Nations League, we get to the semi-final. Because once you do that, it means at the end of the 3 rounds, the consistency ranking points, you'll not start taking your calculator as some fans who don't like Arsenal now are doing, and saying lose here, score this and score that.
Need this number of aggregate goals.
I think it's in our hands, and we like it when it's good in sport to place the responsibility in your hands to do your job and not to expect another person
control
to do
your own fate.
As we want to do the job on our own.
Yeah, but you better be ready with for such situations as well.
Yes, we better be ready, but we believe going on the front foot. We have a very talented pool. Tomorrow in eFootball Mobile, we have a pair of Hannington Kiplagat. We have Bukhari Kasim. We have Abdul Basit, and we have Franklin. These are the top 4 players in the country, and they've been competing well. We've been fortunate also to have friendlies with top countries. The world champion from Thailand, we had friendlies with them, courtesy of our partnership with their federations. As we speak right now, they're having a friendly with Malaysia. It's afternoon right now in Malaysia. They are now online friendlies in Malaysia. They've had also friendlies with Indonesia. And so we've given them the best preparation, and the confidence is also there among the boys. As you saw in the console, again, our team was beating giants, Egypt, Senegal, Nigeria, and what have you. These are teams our team was beating, and on paper, perhaps the ranking, they were higher than us, but it just shows you the intent is there, the talent is there, and I believe for us, because sometimes online has its challenges. Now that the qualifier is online, as I've said, the goal is to go to semi-finals. so that you get the enough points to go for the Continental Championship. But once we go to the Continental Championship, where it is taking place in person, in the same studios, the same halls, on a level playing ground, I'm sure we are really in contention for the 2 African slots to go to the World Championship in Riyadh.
9th edition, 2 African slots, that's what something must happen, right? There must be an increase of the slots.
Yes, yes, because we are beginning. We also need to be cognizant that for FIFA, their first priority, of course, is the actual football. Yes. But you know, Gianni Infantino says football for all. So there's football for those who play on the beach, those who play on the screens, like our community.
Those who play indoors.
Yes, but the goal is how does Africa participate when it goes to the World Championship? I think over the last 2 editions, we've given a good account of ourselves. Morocco did make the final, and 2024. 2025 last year, Egypt made the semi-final, which shows you can compete. And I know when Kenya goes there, not if, but when Kenya goes to the World Championship in at least one category, we'll also give a good account. So that as we lobby for more slots, because it's a 12-team World Championship, the balance has to be there. As we lobby for more slots, we lobby through performance. As the best merit for asking for more slots.
And Kenya, you believe in the squad that you have paraded in this competition? How good are they?
Yes, there are a bunch of good players. As I've told you, Hannington Kiplagat did well in Morocco. He was actually just a few seconds away from eliminating the African top seed, Yassin, from Morocco. Our players like Bukhari Hassan have been doing well in the online global ladder, going up to around top 32 in the world. And I believe that as we go into this, one thing we have that perhaps others don't have, we have that chemistry. This team has been together for a longer time. Sometimes other nations were picking their teams a week, 2 or so. But for us, we ensured we finished the selection process in early March. So the team has been able to train together, to know each other, because it's a 2 versus 2 competition. So I believe the chemistry is very tight among our players, and the preparation has been good. And it's just now to hope for execution to also follow suit.
Yes, indeed. And maybe what would you accredit to the good performance in the the preliminary matches that Kenya posted really good results? What was the the maybe catalyst for such good performances?
It's a blend of talent that we have, experience, and also the preparation. Number one, I say experience because the Rocket League team, for example, 2 of our players were in Birmingham in 2022, playing in the Commonwealth Exhibition Championship. And you see that experience when they bring it here is not something that many in the African scene have it. I would say also talent in terms of the talent we've produced for example, eFootball console. There are people who many will consider the unknown players. So the element of surprise has also been there because we have gone for fresh talent. We did not pick you because of being a big name. We picked you because you've won the national championship. And that has given an air of unpredictability. Because now their opponents are used to waiting for Bernard. But now they see Ronnie show up and they don't know how to deal with Ronnie. And they're playing in a more unorthodox way. So I believe for us, that's the thing we've been doing. We don't give national team slots to people based on their past records. We go for the player who's performing at the moment at the highest level, because esports is also fast-paced. The person who was top yesterday, today may not be in the same quality. And of course, as I've said, preparations, we ensure that we get them these friendly matches against especially Southeast Asian teams, because in Southeast Asia is where mobile esports or esports is really at the peak. So it's good to go to test yourself against those players. Of course, in the friendly results, you may see the results sometimes are not favorable, but the level of play and experience they're able to get by competing with these top players, it lifts them. Because you can choose friendlies against other countries where you win a lot and you see like you're on form. But when you play with top-ranked players, you are able to close that gap. You are able to learn from them. How are they selecting their squad? How are they making their decisions and things like those?
And what do you learn from the nations in East Asia who are doing so well?
So one thing that the nations in East Asia, of course, are doing well, and we have partnerships with them, is the consistency of competitions. They have got a lot of local competitions, and that is what we are replicating here. I think if you look at what we are doing now, as you compare to 3 years ago when you are coming into office, you are seeing consistency of competitions.
Yeah,
so
sure.
ensuring players at any given time are competing at every time. Secondly, also it comes to analysis and putting structure into it.
Yes.
It's just not about playing video games. We are now also offering our players coaching courses using international partners. So we have got, right now, the pool of talented coaches in Kenya is also increasing. In the past, we had good players and no coaches. Now we've been able to transition some of our former players into coaching. So there's a lot of analysis that is going into it. When we play friendlies with these countries, we are also networking our coaches and their coaches. So their coaches are telling them, how do you make decisions in a game? Because esports is a fast-paced game. You won't say that today I've learned this, so I'll come tomorrow.
Sure.
There is no tomorrow. You make the decision at the moment. You have seen the game is going this way, how do you pivot?
Yes.
You have to chase a game, how do you pivot? You have to control a game, how do you pivot? So I think also imparting knowledge, building the capacity of our coaches has been also something that we are seeing is giving dividends to players. Because in the past, the player was the one watching games, reviewing games. It becomes stressful for the player.
Sure.
But right now, the coach can come and review it together with the player when the coach has already broken down the phases of the game that they want to work on.
Sure, that's a good point of capacity building, you know, enabling the local coaches, and that was necessitated by the number, maybe the growth in number of players who are coming on, you know, taking up the esports.
Yes, yes, yes. And also look at the age of these players.
Yes.
Our oldest player in these 3 squads I'm mentioning to you is 22 years old. So you need,
Very young.
apart from the technical bit,
Yes.
you need the psychological bit.
Yes.
How do you tell your players to relax and recollect themselves? Maybe you have 5 group games.
Yes.
You have lost 1 game. You still have 4 more to win. You have 5 group games. You've won 3. Don't be overexcited. You have not finished the job. So you find things like those are what makes players perform. Because every player is skilled, but it's about the decision making. How do they handle the nerves? How do they handle the excitement when things are going well? How do they handle the disappointment when things are not going well? And for that, you need somebody around them. You need somebody to put a hand across their shoulder and show them the way. And that's what we are doing right now.
Sure. And I know that, Tony, there was a number of competitions that happened towards last year and up to early this year. I remember there was an event in Kisumu. It was like a national circuit, right?
Yes.
What kind of options did such tournament offer you in selection and also spotting of the talent?
Yeah, we launched last year the Kenya Esports Series, which for the first time is a national esports competition encompassing the 5 cities as the pillar regions. When we mean pillar regions, we mean that if we go to Kisumu, Kisumu is a pillar region for the larger Nyanza region,
Yes.
for the players in those areas, in those colleges, in those universities,
Yes.
in those homes there. So we did it across, we started in Nakuru, very good event there in partnership with the Nakuru county government, who are very supportive. We went to Eldoret in partnership with the Rupa Mall. We did a very wonderful event. We did have Kisumu in partnership with Alliance Francaise and the French Embassy. Then we went to, we did Nairobi in partnership with 82 Sports, held at Police Sacco. And finally, we finished it in Mombasa. And this was able to help us achieve the 2 objectives of this national series.
Yes, yes.
Number 1 was talent identification. How do we get to the talent that cannot make it to Nairobi? How do we get to the talent when, if we do online competitions and this boy lives in Moyale and does not have the connectivity, how do we get to them? This boy lives in Kwale, maybe does not have the tools to play online. So when we go closer to them, we are able to see that talent. There's a boy, for example, from Shamahoho, my village, who was able to come to the championship being held in Kisumu.
Yes.
There are people from Kapsabet. Bukhari Kasim, who is now in the national team, is a good example. He was tapped from the Eldoret series. He came all the way from Kapsabet to Eldoret, and he was able to emerge victorious. And we were able to see it as a step. Huntington Kiplagat comes from Kitale. So this competition was first to identify talent. Then secondly, to raise awareness. Because for our county associations, for example, and our grassroots teams, when they speak to partners, sometimes partners don't understand what esports is.
Yes, sure.
So Nakuru County has a model study we were able to bring in the county government and to bring in local institutions like Mount Kenya University and Kabarak University. And when we host this competition, they are able to see, oh, this is esport. These are young people being engaged, being given an opportunity based on their skill. Some are playing, some are coaching, some are commentators, and what have you.
Yes, indeed, we have a lot to speak about, but we are pressed with time, Ronnie. But maybe just quickly, a second for you, right? Just for emphasis, you know, what's happening tomorrow, Kenyans playing tomorrow, what are they chasing, at what level, at what stage is this competition?
Yeah, first of all, I invite everyone to watch it tomorrow from 7:45 p.m. on YouTube. We'll be live, eFootball Kenya, YouTube and on TikTok will be live, and Kenya will be playing in the eFootball mobile competition. We play in Pool B alongside South Africa, Morocco, Mauritius and Libya, and I trust we'll be able to do well. Then on Wednesday we'll go and play in the knockout, so everybody can catch that action live. Follow Esport Kenya Federation and you'll see the information there. You'll catch the action live and cheer the boys, and I know the boys will make us proud.
Thank you so much, Ronnie, for making your time and also telling us what's happening later, you know. So a million of opportunities for all those who love the console, or be it Rocket League or the e-mobile, right? So that's how we end it. Thank you so much for being part and parcel of the conversation this morning. On behalf of the Sports Check team, let's do this again next time. It's bye from me.
Are you ready for the next big thing in tech? Well, we'll spotlight Kenya's brightest young minds, game-changing startups, and breakthrough technology that are shaping our future. From AI and robotics to sustainable futures, we bring you the stories behind the scenes. KBC Channel 1. Remember, tech starts here.
Mbona mmefunga choo?
Ona tubungulia mubungwi.
Munipaie kare. Wewe.
Atafuta waiter.
Umesema umeitana mara ngapi?
Mara kama 6 hivi.
Itana zingine 7.
Hiyo kunieka yote.
Kimbia. Huku ni kupaya. Mbona unaniletea chai na baridi hivyo? Ni nini inaendelea hapa kwa hii hoteli? Ni nini mbaya na wewe?
Watu wanaongezwa misaara, wanaongezwa, wewe unaona sisi
shida yenu ni nini aswa? Sasa ngoja nije polisi. Polisi ndio wanakuja kuokoa.
Ati nini?
The road to women's rugby in Kenya has been a long one, enduring one, but they have made it happen to become one of the most celebrated teams in the continent and, of course, in the world, because they'll be playing in the HSBC 2 with the men. And, of course, today we are joined by Grace Okulu. She has been done that. I think, actually, when I come to the RFA, I just think about her because they have struggled to be where they are. And in comes Grace.
Yes, yes.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Ça va bien, merci.
Oui, ça va.
I know a little bit of French.
Oh.
That's all the French I can speak, but there is much more to Grace Okulu than meets the eye, than what you see on the rugby pitch where she has made her name.
I'm Grace Okulu, currently a Kenya rugby player and also racing 92, all the way from France. NOC representative, female representative, and I'm also a police officer for some that that part of me, I don't talk to it so much. I try to keep like everything private apart from rugby. So yeah, that is basically Grace Adhiambo, and a God-fearing girl.
She could have been a track athlete to brush shoulders with the likes of Kenyan stars Faith Kipyegon, Beatrice Chebet, but she was destined to meet them in a different forum.
Let me just say that I was athletic back in school, in primary school, and then there was this one friend, one classmate who also like used to play rugby. He was called Bernard, and yeah, tulikuwa class 4, and then he was like, "Oh Grace, do you want to join rugby?" I was like, "What is that?" And then I started like following it up on TV. I'll sneak out of the house and go watch it somewhere because we didn't have TV back then. I'll go watch it somewhere, but I think I was watching American football rather than rugby. So I was like, I don't think I'm sure. But he was like, "You can just come with me for like on Saturday and then you can see." And then he was like, "Even the girls are traveling to going to UK next month." And I was like, what mode of transportation are they using? And then he said that they are flying out. So I was kind of interested. So I started when I was like really young, and it was like 11 years old. So that's how I started my rugby career.
They say catch them young, and that's how she caught the rugby bag or ball, if you like, in Nakuru. Nax.
I'm all-time Nakuru athlete. Like I started my rugby at Nakuru. I've played my rugby all my life there. And yeah, I'm just coming from Nakuru, so I'm a Nakuru girl. No other club, apart from, I've played for like a few clubs, but like now pro. Like I've played for Nagato Blue Angels in Japan. I've also played for Pulse in Japan, and now currently I'm playing for Racing 92 in France.
They know what to correct from that loss against Uganda earlier on. Kenya, however, so dangerous. Could they potentially finish this tournament going 20?
She also joined the national sevens women's team at a young age, where she showed them what she was capable of, notably in the 2018 Commonwealth Games, where she was among the try scorers as Kenya finished 6th overall. And the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, whose ticket she helped secure as one of the try scorers.
It's the greatest because you get to play like along great players in rugby, which is like only makes you once or twice sometimes, and it's something that only happens like after every 4 years, you know. So maybe you have like only 3 times to become an Olympian, because after that maybe you're aging and maybe you just feel like your body can't take it anymore. And the fact that you're going to see everybody, their culture. Okay, Kenya, we have a good culture, but you also find someone else from let's say from Netherlands, France, Spain, New Zealand, Australia. You get to see what they're doing and you're like, it's good. And it's because of rugby. Like, if it's not rugby, I wouldn't know like others people's culture. So it's really nice, I'll say.
Rushing up as Tilly in defence, but good ball, great ball, brilliant angle. Kenya on the charge. Orlando, has she got the pace to get there? Baker is chasing. They will not catch the Kenya captain, Philadelphia.
And that's where her most memorable moment was recorded against New Zealand, where she converted Lindo's try as they played their hearts out before losing 29-7 in the group stage.
We lost this game, but it was actually like the best game we played, and it was against the New Zealanders. We went inside that game. It was our first game against them. But the last time we played them in the Olympics, we actually lost terribly, And then when we played them in Tokyo 2020, it was like 26-14, which was a good score for us, you know. We lost, but we lost with pride.
Just continuous effort, turnover for Kenya, and a lovely, lovely line by Okulu.
They didn't make it to the Paralympic Games in 2024, to the centre's disappointment.
I'll say, like, if we continue getting good sponsorship, people continue like giving us endorsements, you know. It's all about like how good you take care of your athletes, you know. So I'll say that we are Lionesses are like in a really good path. We just need some few touch-ups, and I know we will be there. For 2028, for sure, I know we will be there.
Time ticking away on the clock, 2.5 minutes left in this final, the very first HSBC 7th Challenger Series competition of the year.
But they did rise up in 2025 to win the HSBC Challenger Series, the Safari Sevens, among others.
Sevens girls, we really had like a really good time this year, knowing that we won like 2 times in in South Africa, and we also like crowned the champions of Challenger Series in Poland. We went to US. The first day the games were not that good, but we didn't give up. We stood up and we said this is our year, you know. Like we actually felt it from the start. This was our year, so we could not let anything like just come in between us and make us not to get what we wanted. So I feel like I'm proud of the Lionesses. Also for the 15s, we tried, but some things just didn't work, you know. But as for the Lionesses, we never give up. We will rise again for the 15s and come back.
Absolutely perfect this weekend. They've done everything right.
She's all elated that Kenya will be hosting the HSBC Division 2 opening leg in 2024.